If you stick with me for the next 5 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how you can still enjoy your weekends and build a lean and strong physique at 40 or even older. In my experience, the biggest stumbling block for men is nutrition. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can structure your nutrition so you can still enjoy the weekends and not let it derail your progress. My name is Mikey Shocko, and I'm the owner of the Forge Fathers Coaching Program, where over the last few years, I have helped over 500 men build leaner and stronger physiques while skyrocketing their energy and their confidence for peak performance. So I know what works, but I also know what doesn't work. So that's me in the picture. And on one side, it's safe to say I'm not in the best shape. And on the opposite side, it's safe to say I am in pretty good shape for a 40-year-old man. Now, in both of these pictures, I trained multiple times per week. I was trying my best to be in the best shape possible. And at both ages, I love to enjoy the weekend, whether that was going for a meal with my girlfriend back when I was 24 or my wife now, or going for a few beers with my mates. But what changed is how I structure my nutrition and how I structure my lifestyle to suit my goals. So let's talk about what doesn't work. And what I often see with men is a couple of different problems repeat themselves. One is they try to exercise their way to success. So they've no structure around their lifestyle, they've no structure around their nutrition, and they think by training hard, they can solve the problem, which, trust me, over the age of 35 is next to impossible to do. Or they try fad dieting, which is either keto, carnivore, low carb, low fat, you name it. And they may be able to do it for a short period of time. They may have a little bit of success, but the problem is 99% of men will never be able to keep that up. And if you cannot keep up the methods that got you to success, well, then the results will be short-lived. A lot of men will also just try starving themselves towards a good physique, which will end up leaving them skinny fat because they lose a lot of muscle mass along the way. And nobody wants that. Or probably the most common issue is men just wing it. They've got absolutely no structure or no routine around their nutrition or their lifestyle. And it's fair to say that the results reflect this. Now, the reason the things I've just listed are a problem is because, number one, when we've got no structure, it's almost a certainty that the weekends will derail our progress. If we try a fad diet or methods that are unsustainable, well then, as I said, the results will never stick around. It's only a matter of time before we start to revert back to old habits and end up back where we started. Or if we just starve ourselves, we don't focus on getting good quality food with a good macronutrient profile, we can end up skinny fat. And that is where, although we're not necessarily overweight, we've got a very high body fat percentage in relative to our weight, which means that we are under muscled. But I have to say, of all the issues that I face, I think the weekends pose the biggest problems. Even for men who do try to have structure and know the targets that they're trying to hit, they can often derail themselves at the weekend. So I have a simple fix that I have used myself for multiple years, and I have used to help over 500 men. And it's a simple 3-step process. So the first thing we want to do is figure out your weekly calorie targets and your daily protein targets. Okay, so the simplest way to do this is multiply your weight in kilograms by 24 to figure out your daily calories. Multiply your weight by kilograms by 2.2 to figure out your protein for the day. Okay, so if we take the example of a 90 kg man, which is the weight that I am at the moment, okay, I'm going to multiply 24 by 90, which gives me 2,160 daily calories. And then I'm obviously going to multiply that by 7 to get 15,100 calories across the week. Okay, now what I do so I can enjoy my weekends a little bit more is, instead of eating 2,160 calories during the week, I eat about 1,800, which is putting me in a significant deficit. But then it leaves you with 4,500 calories to consume on both Saturday and Sunday, which allows me to enjoy the weekends a little bit more. Now, I find this works well for me and for a lot of clients because during the week we're busy, we're on the go, we're working, and we don't necessarily consume as much food just naturally. And yes, we do have to be a little bit disciplined, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, so if you want to enjoy your weekends, it does require you to be a little bit more disciplined throughout the week. And for me, this is definitely a worthwhile trade-off. So what I think is really important is that we actually build a midweek plan, one that focuses on prioritizing protein, one that focuses on satiety, so we're not hungry all the time, and it gives us a much better chance of actually controlling our calorie intake and hitting those 1,800 calories consistently. And then one that also promotes a healthy hormonal profile to give us what we need to make sure muscle mass sticks around, or we can even build muscle as we go. And I think it's really important to keep this as simple as possible. And for me, I'll eat roughly the same thing on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. It makes preparation easy, it makes shopping easy, it makes tracking easy, and it makes hitting my targets really easy. And I'll build that plan around foods that I really like to eat, so it makes sticking to it easy. And then all we need to do is, at the weekend, We need to just focus on hitting our protein target on Saturday, hitting our protein target on Sunday, and making sure that we track our food to stay within our 4,500 calories on the day, or 9,000 calories across the 2 days. And I know this is really simple, but it does work because it's more sustainable in my experience, because people do like to enjoy the weekends. And when we try and stick to the same calories every day, it limits what we can do at the weekend, which kind of puts people off. I find it also helps to keep you motivated because you know you have your weekends to look forward to. And Monday to Friday, as I said, we're busy. So it's easier to stay on track knowing that you have the weekend coming. And then having the midweek plan gives us structure. So it makes hitting our protein target much easier Monday to Friday. And then at the weekend, we have the 4,500 calories, which is plenty of calories to make sure we do hit that protein target. So we'll certainly maintain muscle mass, or we could potentially even grow a little bit of muscle in a deficit, helping us to avoid that skinny fat look. So that's the exact method that I have used personally to stay below 10% body fat and build a strong physique at 40. And like I said, it's the method I've used to help over 500 men over the last few years to do the same thing. Now, if you would like a free plan that you could stick to during the week that will allow you to consume 2,000 calories and 200 grams of protein, then comment plan below and I will send it your way. This will make staying on track during the week much easier. So all you need to do is figure out your calories for the week, figure out your calories for the weekend, and figure out your daily protein target. So comment below.